I see a lot of questions about initializing a bank or a program, and so I just thought I'd show how I'm handling that in my app. So when I open up a PCG file, we have the set list. I've shown this in another video. And here's programs, and like you'd expect, you get the different banks on the left. You click on a program on the right, and all the data shows up. You can see that this is set up just like the Kronos. So on an EXI, you have things like the transpose and the node on control and the key zone. And if you go to HD1, that all changes over here to the appropriate things for that type of bank. And all those basic commands that are on the basic tab can be changed and edited at this point. So that's just something, the basic editing. But let's get back to initializing. So there's these buttons over here on the left, and if you want to add a bank, you click on that, and it figures out which banks are available based on what's already been loaded. You can click all button or nothing, just like on the Kronos, or you can just pick a couple that you want, and there you go. You've got a couple new banks that have been added that are initialized to the Korg basic settings. If I have a bank that I really like, I can click on it and hit dupe. And then you see I get the next bank, UBB, and it is the same as what we duplicated. And I can go in here and do things like drag and drop, change the order. I could change any of the basic parameters. And then, if I like all that funky stuff up at top, and then I've got two banks that have a bunch of the same stuff. It was a starting point, but I've edited it. So if I don't like a bank, I can just hit delete. Now the init bank button is also a combo button. So here's how this works. If I select a bank and I just hit init, it initializes to the factory settings. It looks at it, knows that it was an HD1, and so it initializes to HD1. So that's just kind of your basic change. But let's say I have an EXI and I want that to be an HD1. Well, I have this pull down and I select that and it changes it to an HD1 and it initializes to that. And, I can do the opposite here. And that changes that bank to an EXI and initializes it. You see how here it says empty program. I like to have something different in there so I know it wasn't done on the Kronos. But I might want something even more custom. So with this, I can decide which type of bank. And then I can type something in here like my organ patches. And when I initialize, it initializes to the type of bank I want and puts that name in. Now, if I go over to category and change to organ and pick a type, I can hit the bulk replace. And now I've got everything with my custom name and set up with the categories I want. Last button initializes programs, so I can just pick any program in here and hit initialize, and it initializes it back to the Korg basic initialization. So that's pretty much the way I'm taking care of all those initialization questions.